Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, and back here today, we are doing technically it's part 2 to yesterday's video. And today we're going to be looking at all of the Game Pass games on Xbox One. For those of you who don't know, the Game Pass is a subscription service. You can pay $11.99 or something like that and get Game Pass for the Xbox One, PC, and also you get Xbox Live Gold as well. And it's a pretty good service. There's about just over 100 or so games on here, give or take. We're going to go through them all. Of course, if there is ones that are missing, it's because I've already shown them with my ones that I've installed. I haven't played all of these games, but there are some pretty good ones here. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go through it. First off, we have Absolver Downfall. This game is basically like a Dark Souls fighting game. I did try it out. I weren't really that fond of it. It was a little bit on the slow side, but you know, it's something different, I guess. Metal Slug X, classic game right there. You can't hate on Metal Slug. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. I haven't played any of the Ace Combat games. Flight games have never really been my thing. But this game also has a PSVR version, so that would be kind of an interesting one. Then we have After Party. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I can give you a bit of a description. There. The description there. Action game, I'm guessing. Age of Wonders Planetfall. I think it's like a strategy game. Alan Wake, really good game, good atmosphere. The only problem I had with that game is sometimes the dodging can be a little bit dodgy, I guess. Alien Isolation, fantastic horror game. This game was like the game that made the Alien video games back on track, really, and a lot of people are asking for a sequel or something like that. Alvasta Chronicles. I believe this is like an old sort of RPG style game, like 16-bit era. Lots of RPGs on the Game Pass. Ark Survival Evolved, a MMO almost. Well, it's a survival game with dinosaurs and Rust sort of styles going on there. Ashes Cricket, sports game. You'd be surprised, there's not many sports games on the Game Pass. Most of them are on the EA Access. Astroneer, I think it's like a puzzle platformer sort of thing. Bad North Jotun Edition. There's lots of indie games on the Game Pass. So if those are your sort of things, then definitely be checking them out. Then we have Banjo and Kazooie Nuts and Bolts 1 and well, I don't know why it has normal both versions of them. It has the rare replay version and a normal version. I don't know why. I did play this back in the day. I actually used to love playing the 2-player mode where you just created stuff and you could share it with each other. It was kind of crazy. Then we have the original Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I have played a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really big on those sort of games. We have the Banner Saga 3. I believe it did have the other Banner Saga game, but I think they got taken off. The Bard's Tale ARPG. This is a remaster, I believe, of the first Bard's Tale game, I think. Sort of like a first-person dungeon crawler kind of game. The Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut and the Bard's Tale Trilogy. It's like an old PC, you know, the old 80s, you know, RPGs, adventure games. It's before my time, so I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Batman Arkham Knight, excellent game, fantastic game. Battle Chasers Night War, another sort of RPG. Blair Witch, a horror game based on the Blair Witch saga movie. Blazing Chrome. This is a really fun game. If you like Contra or Super Contra, definitely check out Blazing Chrome. It's a really, really good sort of modern day 16-bit run and gun game. Then we have Bleeding Edge. I think this is like a fighting game, like a new fighting game kind of thing. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I played a little bit of this on Nintendo Switch. It's basically like a Castlevania style game. Bridge Constructor Portal, sort of puzzle game. Sorry about all these Zombie Army trilogy things coming up. Me and my friend are going to be playing Zombie Army 4 tonight. Children of Morta, another RPG. City Skylines, Xbox One Edition. Pretty good game, although I think the PC version is better. Cluster Truck, simple concept. All you've got to do is just jump from truck to truck and get to the end of the level. It sounds stupid, but it's surprisingly addictive and ridiculously hard. Costume Quest 2, just a sort of child-friendly RPG game. It's kind of fun, actually. I did like it. Crackdown 3 and Crackdown 3 Wrecking Zone. I think Wrecking Zone is basically like the keys to the city mode, like, and I think it's co-op. I did play Crackdown 3, but I'm going to be honest with you, I weren't that fond of it. I still, I don't know. Creature in the Well, another RPG. I think this is a hack and slash or an indie game. Yeah, hack and slash. Darksiders 3. I haven't actually completed any of the Darksiders games. I've played all of them a little bit, but I haven't played the third one yet. Of course, Daisy, we talked about that. Daisy Experimental, I'm not entirely sure what that is. This is the demo. D-Blob, pretty fun sort of platforming game where you just have to try and colour in things. It sounds stupid, but it's surprisingly fun. Dead by Daylight, you know that game where you play as the survivors and you've got to try and escape and there's a killer. This game has some fantastic support. Of course, just had the Silent Hill update, which a lot of people were excited about. Dead Cells, a sort of hack and slash top-down game. I hear this game's really good. Dead Island Definitive Edition. Dead Rising 4. Like I said, I like Dead Rising 4, but it just didn't have as much compared to the previous games. Death Squared, I think this is like a puzzle platformer. Puzzle game. Deliver Us to the Moon. I think this is a game where you try and create like a moon base. Demon's Tilt, a occult pinball action. I want to say this was originally a TurboGrafx game, but I could be wrong. It's a pinball game. Descenders, we already talked about that one. Devil May Cry 5. I did play like 10 minutes of this game. I do want to go back and play it because I do like the Devil May Cry games. Dirt 4 and Dirt Rally 2.0, classic fun racing rally games there. Dishonored 2, excellent game. Disneyland Adventures, I talked about this one in the previous video. It's a Disney adventure game. You just do mini games around Disneyland. Double Dragon Neon, kind of a cool sort of modern version of Double Dragon. Dungeon of the Endless. I think this is like a platformer game, or sort of, I'm not entirely sure. eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. I played a tiny bit of Elder Scrolls Online, but I haven't gone back to it since. My all-time favourite, Enter the Gungeon. I love this game. The Escapist 2, the game where you have to try and escape prison. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually a really in-depth game and can be quite fun. Formula 1 2018. We have all three Fable games. Of course, the remaster of Fable 1, Fable 2 and Fable 3. Great selection of games there. Fallout New Vegas. Can't say more than that. It's an amazing game. Farming Simulator 17. Felix the Reaper. This is kind of an interesting sort of puzzle game where you have to try and like move things, get across the board, but it works on like a light So you basically have to use the light and the shade to get through it. It's kind of an interesting one. Final Fantasy 9, I believe that is. Yeah, that was kind of a surprise to see Final Fantasy 9. Of course, Final Fantasy 15 and 15 Comrades. Fishing Sim Pro Tour, fishing game. The Flame in the Flood. I think this is like a survival game. Yeah, it's a survival game. For the King. It's an RPG that blends tabletop and roguelike elements. Forza Horizon 4, again, very good open world racing game. Fractured Minds, I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's an artistic game exploring anxiety and mental health issues. That sounds really interesting. I might have to try that one out. I'm going to put that into install actually. Because that sounds like a really interesting kind of game. Someone who suffers with those sort of things. Frostpunk's console edition. This is basically like a town building game, but it's all based around like steampunk but with frost. Fusion Frenzy, sort of a party game from the original Xbox days. The Garden Between, sort of a puzzle platformer. Gato Roboto, I'm not entirely sure what kind of game this is. Looks wacky. Of course, all of the Gears of War games, 1, 2, 3, 4, Judgment, 5 and Ultimate Edition. Nothing more than I can say about Gears of War that hasn't already been said. Great series of games. Gianna's Sister, Twisted Cut, Twisted Dreams Director's Cut. Sort of another puzzle platformer. It's a platformer, but it uses like a twin world system where you can switch between worlds. Goat Simulator, a ridiculously crazy game, but surprisingly funny. Golf with Your Friends. Seen a lot of people on YouTube play this. Go on a Blueberry Edition. It's a 2D platformer with roguelike elements. Grounded, I've heard of this game. This is like a first-person multiplayer survival game. So you're basically in against giant insects. Sounds interesting. Guacamelee 2, another classic indie game. The Halo collections of Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, and Halo Wars Definitive Edition, and Halo Spartan Assault. Can't really say more about Halo that hasn't already been said. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, a really interesting third-person action adventure game, but if you have headphones, definitely put them in because the game does a really good psychosis kind of thing. Hello Neighbor, that game where you've got to try and get into your neighbor's house and figure out what he's trying to do. Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. Human Flatfall, new thermal level. That sort of physics-based puzzle platformer. Hyperdot. Minimalistic arcade masterpiece. With Run Wall. Dodge everything. Indivisible. I think this is like a puzzle action platformer. The Jackpots Party Pack 3. These are sort of like wacky, over-the-top, like party games. It's really an interesting one. Jetpack Refueled, kind of a old school game, remastered. Journey to the Savage Planet. I think this was like it's like a first-person action adventure game, kind of like a No Man's Sky or something. Joyride Turbo, a sort of a racing game, over the top. Jump Force, you know, that game that everyone was crazy about when it first came out, and then it sort of just went under the radar. Cameo, Elements of Power, a launch title for the Xbox 360. Killer Instinct, the modern version, and Killer Instinct Classic and 2 Classic for the classic arcade versions. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I actually liked this game. I tried it out and it just glitched out on me. I kind of like the whole idea of having a realistic RPG set in medieval times, but you know, it just sort of fucked up on me. Then we have Kingdom HD 1.5 and 2.5 HD remastered, and 1.8 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Kind of interesting to see all three Kingdom Hearts games on the Xbox One. I have the complete collection on PS4, so Kona, I think this is another sort of adventure game, interactive game. Lego Star Wars 3, what more can I say about that? Levelhead, build, share and compete in Levelhead, a platforming game with, seems like it has a lot of community creation in there. Life is Strange 2, Episode 1. Lonely Mountains Downhill, sort of a downhill racing bike game. The Long Dark, I think it's like a first-person survival game. Yeah, it's like a survival game. Lord of the Rings card game. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting one to see that they did a new Lord of the Rings game, but it was just a cards game. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, haven't played it yet. The original Mass Effect. The other Mass Effect games are on EA Access, so I don't know why they got the first one on here, but never mind. Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood. That's me. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection. This just includes Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 remake, the HD version, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Classic games, the Metal Gear Solid series. The Metro series, 2033 Redux and Last Light Redux, and Metro Exodus. I really enjoyed both Metro 23, 33 and Last Light. I thought they were really good sort of immersive games. I haven't played Exodus yet. Middle-earth Shadow of War. Haven't played Shadow of War yet. I played Shadow of Mordor and I did like that. Minecraft, what more can you say about Minecraft? Minecraft Dungeons, this is a new IP from the Mojang. It's basically Minecraft meets Diablo. I kind of want to try it out because it just seemed like a really out there kind of game. I've heard it's pretty fun, so if anyone wants to play that with me, let me know. Minute, I have no idea what kind of game this is. A little adventure game by the looks of it. Momodora, Reverie Under the Moonlight. It's a 2D platformer game. I have played it. I think it was okay. Monster Hunter World, another really good modern day game. Moonlighter, I think this is like a first person puzzle platformer. Mortal Kombat 10, no 11 yet. Moving Out, this game's basically Overcooked, but about trying to move things out of the house. Really fun sort of like party game, I hear. Mud Runner, basically a simulation game, racing game almost. Munchkin Quackle Quest, it's a card game. Mutant Road to Eden, this is basically an XCOM style of game. My Friend Pedro, this is like a twin stick shooter almost. It's kind of over the top. It's okay actually. My Time at Porsche, haven't played it yet. This is like a Harvest Moon kind of game. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, a sort of Naruto and Boruto fighting game. NBA 2K20 for you basketball fans. Neon Chrome, this is like a top-down cyberpunk game. I think I played it actually. It was pretty cool. Nier Automata, Become as One God's Edition. I've heard this game is really good. It's kind of like so many games in one. Ninja Gaiden 2, another classic. No Man's Sky, again, the game that started off terrible but has had some great updates. Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition and Ori on the Will of the Wisps. I've heard these are really good like action platformer games, but they have some great story to them. The Outer Wilds, another sort of a survival game, I think. The Outer Worlds, I've heard this is really good. Overcooked 2, great co-op game. Oxen 3, an indie platformer. Pandemic, the board game, I have no clue how that plays. Panzer Dragoon Auto, another classic from the original Xbox. Pathologic 2, another survival game. Guessing that looks kind of an interesting one. Payday 2, Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero. Again, some pretty classics there. I used to actually love playing Perfect Dark 2, Zero when it first came out. Pico Nuku. I think this is like a puzzle game. I've heard this is actually really fun. Pillars of Eternity. Plague's Tale Innocence, a sort of story-driven game set in the Plague. Players Unknown Battlegrounds, of course, everyone knows that game. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. It's a fighting game with Power Rangers. It's actually pretty good. I kind of liked it. Quantum Break, another game that was meant to be really great, and then it was just forgotten about. Rage 2, again, another game that I wanted to love, but unfortunately I just didn't. Rare Replay, great collection of games on there. 30 classic games from Rare. Probably the best one on there is The Conquer. Record Definitive Edition. Red Dead Redemption 2, of course, has just been added, so a lot of people are getting the Game Pass just for that game, no surprise. Remnant from the Ashes. This is a Dark Souls shooting game almost. I want to try that one out with my friend. Rime, Rise and Shine. Rocket League, everyone knows Rocket League. Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure. I think this is like a run game. Pixar games. I have no clue what kind of style of game it is. Rise, Son of Rome. I haven't actually. I want to go back and finish this game because I did play a little bit of it, and I kind of liked it. Scream Ride. This is basically a roller coaster puzzle game kind of thing. Kind of an interesting one. Sea of Thieves and Sea of Thieves Insider. I did like Sea of Thieves, but I just never really got into it because I didn't really have anyone to play it with. Sea Salt. I think this is a indie game. Secret Neighbor, sequel to Hello Neighbor, I think. Shadow Tactics. This is like a stealth game, tactics game. Shadow Warrior 2, really fun game. Slay the Spire mixes like card games with roguelike games. Sniper Elite 4. Haven't played any of the Sniper Elite games apart from the first one. State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition. This has just had like a massive change to it, so I want to go back on it at some point and see what they've done to it. The original State of Decay. SteamWorld Dig 2. Stellaris Console Edition. Streets of Rage 4, another game I want to try out because I love the original Streets of Rage. Subnautica, a underwater survival game. Sunset Overdrive, a launch title for the Xbox One, but an actually really good game. I want to go back and finish that or play it in co-op sometime. Super Lucky's Tale, platformer. The Surge 2, futuristic Dark Souls. Surviving Mars, guessing another survival game. Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet. Tacoma. The Talos Principle, originally a PC game, it's like Portal or something. Tekken 7, Terraria, basically 2D Minecraft. The Hunter, Call of the Wild. Thronebreaker, The Witcher. I want to try this game in because this is like a role-playing game with card battles, but it's set in the Witcher universe, so I want to try this game out actually because I love The Witcher. Ticket to Ride. Tabs, really funny game, definitely one worth checking out. Totally Reliable Delivery Service, another wacky, funny game for friends. Track, the train set game. Train World Simulator 2020. The Turing Test. 2 Point Hospital, a sort of remake of the older theme hospital game. Untitled Goose Game, a really crazy game. Vambrance Cold Soul. Viva Pinata and Viva Pinata Trouble and Paradise. Used to love these games as a kid. Void Bastards, I think it's a first-person shooter. The Walking Dead, A New Frontier. Into Deep, Season 2, the complete season. So pretty much most of the Walking Dead games. Wonder Song. War Groove. This is like it's like a rhythm game, I think. The Wasteland series, Wasteland Remastered 2 and 3. These are basically like tactical post-apocalyptic games. We Happy Few, West of the Dead, Westerado Double Barreled. I could not get into that game. I had no idea what I was doing. What Remains of Edith Finch, a story-driven game. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Wizard Legend. Wolfenstein Youngblood. World War Z. Worms, WMD. Zoo Tycoon. Again, another remake. Yoku Yeye. And Yoku's Island Express. And Yakuza Kiwami and Zero. I was really surprised that they brought Yakuza to the Xbox. Again, it's not a PlayStation only game because it's Sega, but I mean, part of me kind of hates that it's not on anything other than PlayStation now, well, and PC. It's on Xbox, but then there's part of me that's like, at least people can play this game because I love the Yakuza series. But anyway, guys, so there we go, the Game Pass, a pretty good selection of games actually, a bit of something for everyone here. It's definitely worth your money if you don't have the money to go out and buy games every single day kind of thing. So if you want to just get a bunch of games to play here and now, definitely get the Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like and, of course, comment below. Let me know what you think of the Game Pass. Do you play it? Do you have it? All that good stuff. And as always, guys, feel free to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Mixer. I hear Mixer's closing down, so I'm a little bit pissed off about that. But I will be streaming tonight anyway on Mixer. Doing some Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.